when Captain Sarah Martinez saw something massive coiling around a wing of her aircraft at 30,000 feet. She thought her mind was playing tricks on her. But the screams from the passengers and the violent shaking of the plane told her this nightmare was real. A creature that should not exist at this altitude was tearing her aircraft apart, and she had less than 10 minutes to save everyone on board. Before we dive in, what time are you listening? Where are you from? Drop a comment below and tell me. And please like and subscribe for more videos like this. Captain Sarah Martinez checks her instruments one final time before takeoff. Flight 739 from Manaus to São Paulo is fully boarded. 147 passengers. 6 crew members. The weather is clear. Everything looks routine. She has flown this route 200 times in her 12-year career. She knows every landmark below, every air current, every potential challenge, but nothing in her training prepared her for what is about to happen. The plane lifts off smoothly. The wheels retract with their familiar clunk. Sarah levels out at cruising altitude. The Amazon rainforest spreads endlessly below them, a green carpet that seems to go on forever. Passengers settle in. Some read, some sleep. Others gaze out at the view. A young boy in seat 12A presses his face against the window. He has never flown before. His mother sits beside him, holding his hand. They are visiting family in São Paulo. It is supposed to be a happy trip, a celebration. In 40 minutes, their world will change forever. Sarah adjusts the autopilot. Her co-pilot, Marcus Rodriguez, goes through the routine checks. Everything is normal. The engines hum steadily. The fuel levels are good. Communication with ground control is clear. Sarah leans back in her seat. She thinks about her daughter's birthday party tomorrow. She has the day off. She plans to bake a cake, to play games, to make it special. These small thoughts of normalcy will haunt her later. How she was thinking about cake while something impossible was already happening outside her. Aircraft, 20 minutes into the flight. A passenger in the back presses the call button. A flight attendant named Diana walks down the aisle. The passenger points out the window. He says he saw something moving on the wing. Something big. Diana smiles politely. She tells him it is probably just clouds. Maybe a reflection. She has heard passengers report strange sightings before. The mind plays tricks at high altitudes. She returns to her station. But the passenger keeps watching. His unease grows, because what he saw was not a cloud. It was not a reflection. It was something alive. In the cockpit, Sarah notices a slight drag on the left side. A minor imbalance. She checks her instruments. Nothing seems wrong. She mentions it to Marcus. He shrugs. Probably just wind shear. They make a small adjustment. The plane continues on, but the drag increases. Slowly at first, then more noticeably. Sarah frowns. This is not wind shear. This is something else. She disengages the autopilot. She takes manual control. The plane feels heavy, like something is weighing it down. Then the screaming starts. Multiple passengers on the left side of the aircraft. Their voices pierce through the cabin. Diana runs to see what is happening. She looks out the window. Her blood turns to ice. Wrapped around the wing is a snake. But not any snake. A massive anaconda. Its body is easily 40 feet long, thick as a tree trunk. Its scales gleam in the sunlight, and it is crushing the wing, actually crushing the metal and composite materials designed to withstand incredible forces. Diana cannot process what she is seeing. It defies everything she knows about the world. Snakes do not fly. They do not survive at 30,000 feet. They do not attack airplanes. But this one is doing exactly that. Diana grabs the intercom. Her voice shakes as she calls the cockpit. Sarah answers. Diana tries to explain what she is seeing. Her words come out jumbled, confused. Sarah tells her to slow down, to breathe, to explain clearly. Diana says there is a giant snake on the wing. Sarah thinks she misheard. A snake. Diana repeats it. Yes, a snake. A huge anaconda. It is wrapped around the left wing. It is squeezing. Sarah looks at Marcus. His face shows disbelief. This is impossible. But Sarah has learned in her years of flying that impossible things sometimes happen. She has to see for herself. She activates the wing cameras. Airlines installed these cameras years ago for ground inspections. Sarah pulls up the feed on her display. What she sees makes her stomach drop. The anaconda is real. It is massive, and it is systematically destroying her aircraft. The creature's head is near the fuselage. Its body coils around the wing 3 times. With each squeeze, metal buckles. Warning lights flash on Sarah's panel. Structural integrity compromised. Hydraulic pressure dropping. Fuel leak detected in the left wing tank. Sarah's training kicks in. She declares an emergency. She contacts air traffic control. She tries to explain the situation. The controller asks her to repeat. She does. There is a long silence on the other end. Then the controller asks if this is a joke. Sarah's voice is ice cold when she responds. This is not a joke. She has a massive snake attacking her aircraft. She is losing fuel. She has structural damage. She needs immediate clearance to land at the nearest airport. The controller starts coordinating, but Sarah knows the nearest suitable airport is 23 minutes away. She is not sure the plane will hold together that long. The anaconda shifts. Its massive head turns toward the windows. Passengers scream. They scramble away from the left side. Children cry. Adults freeze in terror. The creature's eyes are cold, ancient. It looks into the cabin as if studying its prey. Then it opens its mouth. The jaws unhinge. Rows of teeth glisten. It strikes at the window. The reinforced glass cracks but holds. It strikes again. The crack spreads. One more hit and it will shatter. Sarah banks hard to the right. The sudden movement throws the snake off balance. Its grip loosens slightly, but it does not let go. Instead, it coils tighter. The wing groans under the pressure. Sarah can hear it through the cockpit walls. Metal screaming. The plane shudders violently. Oxygen masks drop in the cabin. Passengers struggle to put them on while the aircraft lurches and rolls. Diana and the other flight attendants do their best to help, to calm people, to maintain order, but fear has taken over. This is beyond anything in their emergency procedures manual. Marcus monitors the damage reports. The left engine is failing. Fuel is streaming from the ruptured tank. The wing's structural supports are compromised. If the wing fails completely, they will spiral out of control. There will be no recovery. 153 people will die. Marcus looks at Sarah. She is focused, her hands steady on the controls. She is calculating, planning, fighting for every second. Sarah makes a decision. If the snake is attracted to the wing, maybe she can use the engines against it. She throttles up the left engine. The turbine roars. The heat increases dramatically. The exhaust blasts directly at the anaconda's midsection. The creature recoils. It loosens its grip for a moment. Sarah sees her chance. She rolls the plane sharply. The centrifugal force combines with the engine heat. The snake's tail end slides off the wing, but its head and upper body remain locked on. It is not giving up. The creature thrashes. Its tail whips through the air. It is angry now. It strikes at the engine intake. Sarah sees it coming. She cuts the throttle just in time. The snake's head misses the spinning blades by inches. If it had been sucked in, the engine would have exploded. They would all be dead. Sarah's heart pounds. She has bought them time, but not much. The wing is still failing. The fuel is still leaking. They are still in mortal danger. Air traffic control comes back on. They have cleared the runway at Santarém Airport. It is the closest option. Sarah alters course. She begins a rapid descent. She has to lose altitude fast. Maybe lower air pressure will affect the creature. Maybe the cold will slow it down. She is grasping at theories, hoping something will work. The plane drops quickly, too quickly for passenger comfort. But comfort is not a priority. Survival is dot 15,000 feet. Something changes. The anaconda begins to slow. Its movements become sluggish. The extreme altitude, the cold, the thin air, all of it is taking a toll. The creature is powerful. It is massive, but it is still a cold-blooded reptile. It was not designed for this environment. Whatever unnatural force brought it here is weakening. Sarah sees this. She pushes harder. She descends faster. At 10,000 feet, the snake's grip loosens significantly. At 7,000 feet, its head droops. At 5,000 feet, it releases the wing entirely. Its body slides off and falls away. Sarah watches through the wing camera as the massive creature tumbles through the sky. It disappears into the green canopy below. The relief in the cockpit is immediate but short. The plane is still badly damaged. Sarah has lost one engine. The wing is cracked and bent. Hydraulic systems are failing. She has minimal control. Landing is going to be nearly impossible. Marcus runs through emergency landing procedures. They lower the landing gear manually. They recalculate their approach speed. They warn the cabin to brace for impact. Diana and the crew move through the aisles. They show passengers the brace position. Some people are in shock. Others are crying. A few are praying quietly despite the circumstances. Everyone knows this landing will determine if they live or die. Santarém Airport appears ahead. Emergency vehicles line the runway. Fire trucks, ambulances, rescue teams. They are ready for the worst. Sarah lines up her approach. The plane is sluggish, unresponsive. The damaged wing creates massive drag. She compensates as best she can. The runway rushes up to meet them. Sarah fights the controls. She keeps the nose up. She tries to land smoothly. But smooth is not possible. Not with this damage. The wheels touch down hard. The right gear hits first. The plane bounces. It comes down again. This time the left gear makes contact. The damaged wing dips dangerously low. The wingtip scrapes the runway. Sparks fly. Metal screeches. Sarah engages full brakes. The plane skids. It veers left. She counters. She fights to keep it straight. The runway is long enough. Barely the plane slows. It shudders. It groans. But it slows. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, it stops. They are down. They are alive. The cabin erupts in sounds, relief, tears, disbelief. The flight attendants open the emergency exits. Slides deploy. Passengers evacuate quickly. Some stumble. Some fall on the slides. But everyone gets out. Everyone is moving. The emergency crews rush in. They check for injuries. Remarkably, there are none. Not from the landing. A few people have minor cuts from the turbulence. Some have bruises. But everyone survived. All 153 souls on board walked away. Sarah sits in the cockpit. Her hands are shaking now. The adrenaline is wearing off. Marcus puts a hand on her shoulder. They sit in silence for a moment, processing what just happened, what they survived. Then they follow protocol. They shut down all systems. They gather the flight recorders. They prepare their reports. But how do you report this? How do you explain that a giant anaconda attacked your plane at cruising altitude? Investigators arrive within hours. They examine the aircraft. The damage is undeniable. The wing is crushed in a pattern consistent with constriction. There are scales embedded in the metal. Massive scales. The fuel tank rupture shows clear signs of external pressure. The window cracks match the pattern of a large animal strike. Every piece of physical evidence supports the impossible story, but there is no body. The snake fell into the rainforest. Hundreds of square miles of dense jungle. Finding it would be nearly impossible. Teams are sent out anyway. They search the area where the creature should have fallen. They use helicopters, drones, infrared cameras. They find nothing. No body, no trace. It is as if the anaconda vanished. Some investigators suggest it survived the fall, that the jungle canopy cushioned its descent, that a creature that massive might be incredibly resilient. Others think it died and was consumed by the forest. Scavengers work quickly in the Amazon. A body can disappear in days, hours even. Sarah gives her statement. She describes everything exactly as it happened. She knows how it sounds. She knows people will doubt. But she has witnesses. She has evidence. She has the truth. The airline launches an internal investigation. They examine maintenance records, flight paths, weather conditions. They find nothing that explains how a snake ended up at 30,000 feet. No cargo was loaded that could contain such a creature. No ground crew reported anything unusual. It simply appeared, and then it was gone. News of the incident spreads quickly. Media outlets struggle with how to report it. A giant snake attacking a plane sounds like fiction, like a bad movie. But the evidence is real. The passengers are real. Their accounts all match. Zoologists are consulted. They say anacondas can grow large, but nothing like the size described. And certainly, they cannot survive at high altitudes. The cold alone would kill them. The lack of oxygen would be fatal. Yet somehow, this one did. At least for a while, theories emerge. Some scientists suggest it might have been a previously unknown species. A highland anaconda adapted to different conditions. But that does not explain how it got onto a moving aircraft. Others propose it was transported accidentally, maybe in cargo that broke open, But again, no cargo on that flight could have contained such a creature. The theories become more exotic. Genetic mutations, secret experiments, even suggestions of something supernatural. Sarah ignores most of it. She knows what she saw. She knows what she fought. She does not need theories. She needs to make sense of surviving it. Months pass. The damaged aircraft is repaired. Sarah returns to flying. But she is different now. Every flight, she checks the wings obsessively. She watches for anything unusual. The young boy from seat 12A writes her a letter. He thanks her for saving his life, for staying calm, for being brave when everyone else was terrified. His words mean more to her than any commendation from the airline. She keeps the letter in her flight bag, a reminder of why she does what she does, why the impossible is worth fighting against. The incident changes aviation protocols. Airlines install additional external cameras. Monitoring systems are upgraded. Training programs now include scenarios for animal strikes, even unlikely ones. Because if it happened once, it could happen again. The Amazon is vast, full of mysteries, full of creatures we have not yet discovered, and the skies above it are no longer considered completely safe. Sarah knows this better than anyone. She flies over that jungle every week, and every time she remembers. She remembers the weight of that creature on her wing, the screams of her passengers, the impossible choice between physics and survival, and she remembers that she won. They all won. Against odds that should have killed them, they survived, and that matters more than any explanation ever could. So if you liked this video, please like and subscribe for more videos like this.